Hello, 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 welcome to Firearms of America, and today we're doing another review for hiking boots, and today we have a Keen Targhee 2 men's hiking boots. So, if you are in a rush and you don't have enough time to watch the whole review, great boot, buy it, but one thing keep in mind, get at least half a size bigger. Unfortunately, I found these boots to be not exactly a true size, at least compared to all the other boots that I have tried, and I've tried quite a lot of them. Normally I buy size 10 for hiking boots, and it's a little bit larger than usual. Usually I get all my sneakers, all my shoes at size 9.5, and if you're an experienced hiker, you know that you need to get boots that are at least half a size larger than your regular size, because whenever you're going down the hill, for example, it's important to have that extra space right here so that you're not hitting the front of the toe. So with these boots I got the size 10 as usual, but they are actually small, not even exactly the size, but small. So for me, I would probably need to get size 11 for me to be able to fit into this boot. Okay, so if you have enough time for the whole review, let's get into it. So this is, this boots reviews I'm doing as a part of my survival boots, ultimate survival boots. So we are actually, the judgment that we're making is a little bit tougher than your regular review. So here we're going to be reviewing on 8 different criteria. So the very first one is going to be walking, running, length, comfort, obviously very important one. Second one is going to be the stuff proof, how many different things these boots are proof. Number 3 is going to be the quality. Number 4 is going to be the sole grip, slip, resistance. Number 5, the temperature, too cold, too hot. Number 6, longevity, how long will they last you. Number 7 is going to be the balance of application, which is specific to our ultimate survival boot application. And number 8, the price. Okay, let's get into it. Number 1, walking, running, comfort. So for this particular criteria, I did the test. It was the 5-mile walk and the 3-mile run. I would do longer if I could. I'm not a very good runner. So, okay, so whenever it comes to comfort, these boots are pretty comfortable. The only thing is I had to update the size, because like I said, size 10, which is normally a little bit bigger for me than needs to be, size 10, and this one's was actually small, so I had to upgrade them to size 11. Other than that, whenever it comes to the comfort, they are pretty comfortable to wear, they are pretty comfortable to run in. The sole, I wish it was a little bit bendier. If it was, they would have been a breeze to run in, but because it is a little bit stiff, it can be a little bit hard to run in them, at least, especially whenever it comes to long distances. Because whenever you have the bendy sole, it's easier to properly run without putting too much pressure on your knees. But after about a mile run, I started feeling, a little bit too much stress in my knees. So I wish that was a little better. Now, whenever it comes to the weight, I think they did a really good job with the weight. And that's probably one of the main reasons why it is it is so comfortable to run and wear them for a very long time, is because they are very lightweight, especially considering that they do have extra protection on the toe and extra protection here on the heel. Of course, that takes up some of the weight, but I think it's a really good balance. I think it's important to have, especially for hiking if you're doing, and of course you would understand, for survival boots you want to have some extra protection. So pretty good job over there. Okay, so stuff proof. Now these boots are waterproof. I think it's great. Survival boots need to be waterproof. That's perfect. And of course, for hiking situations, depending on where you hike, I think it's extra cool feature to to have your boots as waterproof. If you're going through a creek or hiking in the rain, great stuff. Okay, so number 3 is the quality. If you're gonna look at the reviews on this, now I didn't have them for a very long time, probably for about 2 weeks, but if you check out the reviews on Amazon, and I included the link in the description below, you will be surprised. They're almost 5 stars, more than 2,000 reviews. pretty amazing. Now, not a lot of boots, especially not a lot of hiking boots, have that many good reviews. So judging by the reviews, quality wise, they definitely last. They're definitely good quality. They feel like a good quality too. And you know, usually I don't concentrate that much on the way they look, because, you know, survival boots, who cares how they look? As long as they're practical, as long as they last you, as long as they are light and you can run and walk in different applications in these boots, doesn't really matter, right? But notice how cool these boots look. Like, I just, you know, whenever I saw them, I was like, wow, this is probably the coolest looking hiking boot. Probably just as cool as Salomon. If you heard, I did the review on those on the new GTX. Check them out. Pretty cool boots too. Very comparable, but much cheaper. But we'll get to that in the price. This particular color is actually Raven. Raven Tortoise Shell. Yeah, weird name for a color, but yeah, they have quite a few different color options. Actually, I think on Amazon you can find 5. There's slate, there's tan, which are like 2 different variations of kind of like tannish color, and then there is this one Raven, there's shiitake for shiitake mushroom, I guess, and then there's black olive, and there are variations of darker brown colors if you're interested to check them out. Okay, so let's go into, I think, one of the most important ones whenever it comes to the survival boots and hiking boots together, is the sole grip slip resistance. Now, I think this sole is very versatile. I think it will serve you in different, because you can see that there are the parts of the sole where there are pretty flat surfaces, which are good for slip resistance on surfaces like, for example, tile or oily surfaces. So this is going to be pretty good on those. But at the same time, you can also see the aggressive grooves on the sole, which are going to be good on muddy roads, on sandy roads, on rocky roads, wet grass, for example. It's not going to be slippery. And of course the snowy and icy roads. Now this will be pretty good. I would say not aggressive enough for, you know, straight up ice, for example, because for those you need really aggressive. But at the same time, if you have too aggressive of a sole, then you're not gonna do very good on muddy and sandy surfaces. Why? Because mud and sand, they tend to get into those aggressive grooves, and of course your boot becomes heavier and slippery too. So I think it's a very good balance. It's a very good balance of application. I think it's very important for both, for hiking situations and for, you know, survival in general. And whenever I talk about survival, you know, I mean, if anything bad happened, you know, a catastrophe, I always say catastrophe, my accent, but it, you know, war, revolution, whatever doomsday scenario you can come up with, and it was the last, if it was the last boot or shoe, you know, it doesn't have to be a boot, that you would put on and go out of your house and walk for miles, run for miles, whatever, and wear for, you know, days, weeks, which boot would that be? This is what we're trying to find here, basically. This is what the ultimate survival boot is. And I'm assuming this is going to be a boot and not a regular shoe, not a classical shoe or a sneaker, for obvious reasons, okay? Okay, so let's get into the temperature. Now, I live in Florida. I was running in these in 90 degrees temperature, so I had a good test for hot temperatures. They weren't too hot. The ventilation is pretty good. You can see the porous surface that they have here at the ankle, and of course this material here is sort of porous. So of course in 90 degrees it was hot, but not, you know, not deadly hot like some of the winter boots that I have reviewed before on this channel. Not as bad. So it's pretty good. At the same time, of course, they will be pretty warm. Again, not as warm as, for example, insulated winter boots specifically for cold temperatures. So again, it's a good balance. Again, it depends on where you live. If you live in very cold temperatures, probably want to look into winter boots. But if you live somewhere, you know, really anywhere in the US, this is going to be pretty good because it's a good balance. So number 6 is longevity. Kind of longevity is the same as quality. If you review the reviews, if you check the reviews on Amazon, you will see that there are people who had this boot for years and they're commenting and saying that they lasted very well. So out of 5 out of 5 for longevity, because I can't really comment on that much because I only had them for 2 weeks, but judging by the reviews, pretty good. Okay, definitely the most important part of ultimate survival boot category is balance of application, meaning that, obviously if it's a survival boot, you're gonna run out of your home, you're gonna run for miles, you're gonna walk for miles, it's gonna be different roads, different applications, crossing the creeks, crossing the sandy places, the wet grass, whatever. You get the point. Hot temperatures, cold temperatures, all of this combined, that balance of application, I think these boots perform very, very well whenever it comes to this. They're lightweight, so you can run and walk in them without that much, effort. The only complaint that I have is I wish this was a little bit bendier, a little bit less stiff, more flexible. Bunch of synonyms. I don't know why. but overall, I think they did very well whenever it comes to the sole, whenever it comes to the temperature, and of course the extra that you get is a waterproof. So that's a really nice thing to have as well. Okay, one more thing to mention here. Usually I skip it, but the hardware here is it's not metal. So if you're wondering, it's not metal, it's actually a heavy duty plastic. So that's another little complaint. Now I have not seen anyone in the review section saying that it broke or anything like that, but I think it was worth mentioning, because honestly I wish it was metal, what are they called, whenever they make the holes, because here you actually have the piece of material holding the strings, and I wish the hooks were metal. But at the same time, if you put metal hardware on the boots, of course it will add some additional weight. So that's sort of, it can go both ways. All right, number 8 is the price. The price for this particular ones is $100, which I think is really, really good, because on this channel I've reviewed boots in the 200s, and I have reviewed boots in the 50s and 70s. So I think it's a really good balance between, whenever it comes to the price, you get a lot of different features. It's waterproof, it has extra protection on the toe, on the ankle. They are pretty light, they do look pretty cool, which again is not really important, but nevertheless it's nice to have nice looking boots. All right, why not? If you can get them nice, why not? Price depends on the size, of course, and on the color, on the availability, because that's Amazon, you know how it works. But I will attach the link in the description below, and you can check it out to see the updated price. So overall, out of 10, I would give it a solid 7. I think that's a pretty good boot. I would give it more if they were a little bit more accurate with the sizing. I think it's pretty important, but not really that much big of a deal, because in the world that we live in today, we can buy, we can try, and if we need a different size, we can just return without paying anything extra and get the correct size. So not that big of a deal. Other than that, I think great boots. If you're buying them for hiking, you're gonna love them. If you are buying them for hiking, I do have a few more cool hiking boots that I already done the reviews on this channel, so check them out. Specifically check out boots from Columbia, and check out boots from Salomon. Columbia is a little cheaper, Salomon is a little bit more expensive, but you might like one more than the other, and I definitely recommend checking them out. So let me know what you guys think. If you had these boots, let me know if you like them, how long you had them, what do you think about them. Your opinion really matters. If you found this review useful, definitely subscribe. More boot reviews coming, and a bunch of other things we do on this channel. Firearms of America. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.